And welcome to a new edition of the Red Mountain Express. I'm your host, Blake Westbrook. Joining me, as always, is Patrick Tucker. He is filling in for Matt and probably will be here for the rest of his life. So,
unless my wife has anything to do with it.
Exactly. How was your week, bud?
It's good, I guess. It's been an interesting week.
So, tell everybody what happened to you in the middle of the night. What night was it?
It was, I think, Tuesday night.
Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning?
Yeah, something like that. So, or I guess it would have been Monday night, Tuesday morning.
Right.
I decided I was going to be very healthy and start going to the gym early in the morning. So, as to not wake up my wife and children, I decided to park my car outside in the driveway, which worked great the first morning. I snuck out. The second morning, I came down to find half a tree sticking out of the top of my car.
It was like a big old limb, right?
Yeah, a big, large limb just smashed through my windshield and just kind of stuck straight through it. It stuck up like a little vase.
Now, your driveway is near your bedroom, right?
Yeah, it's directly.
And you didn't hear it?
Didn't hear a thing. Apparently, I guess the alarm wasn't set on my car, and I
but
didn't hear
like
a
the
thing.
Sound of a big old
Nope, didn't hear it.
log.
Didn't hear it smashing through. It was amazing.
And the thing was, like, it was all the way through.
All the way through, yeah, through to the seat wedged in between the seat and the console.
Maybe it was like one of those, Olympic divers when they have a tin. It's like a very little splash, very little sound.
No,
That's probably
there was like no glass in the driveway. It was just all in the car.
And this is the first time you've had an intact windshield on that car in how long?
I bought the car in 2006 with a cracked windshield, and it's been cracked ever since. So,
Jesus,
12 plus years of having a cracked windshield. Hey, I have a new windshield now, so thank you, tree.
Yeah, I mean,
a few $100 later.
So the question is, did you go out and you saw it, and you're like, you know what? I'm still going to work out, and you took off down the street and ran a couple miles.
I did, actually. I laughed for a few minutes in disbelief, and then I went for a walk because there was really nothing I could do about it until later in the morning.
So you really did?
I did. I went for a walk, yeah.
That's great.
So I've been walking every morning now.
And thought it out and just kind of psyched yourself out to call the insurance company?
Yeah, I was like, first of all, how am I going to get this limb out of my car? But I did.
Yeah.
So
sorry. Too bad. I was in Orlando. It was
yeah, so that made it an interesting week. How was your week?
I was in Orlando all week, and I'm going to tell you what. That is the hottest city. I mean, it's hot here in Birmingham. It was hot. It's about as hot as it is there.
Is it as humid?
No, it's more humid. Like I sweated for 2 straight days, like in the hotel and out of the hotel, and I even like turned down the AC down to 60, just so I could keep it cool. And those darn housekeepers kept turning it up every time they'd come back in there. I'm like, leave it alone.
Yeah, I need it
please.
Freezing in the hotel rooms.
I need it freezing. Yeah, definitely need it freezing. So, but I was in Orlando. My company does a huge convention every year at the JW Marriott. So I was down there. It's a nice property, but I was working the whole time and, sweated. And I'm going to say this, folks of Birmingham, please enjoy your airport because our airport's wonderful.
It is now.
Yeah, it is now. Like, enjoy. Like, yeah, really be grateful because Orlando's airport, 1, it's not even that nice. 2, it's awful. It is so bad. Like, it's bad. Well, for several reasons. 1, it's not updated. 2, there's just nothing but families there. I love families.
All kids.
I have a family, but like, there are people that go through that airport that have never flown a day in their life. It's like, oh, dude, can I take a bottle of water in there? No, you can't take a bottle of water in there. Like, no. And then, I need to take my computer. Why do I take my computer out of my laptop? Sir, do you have something in your pocket? Yes, I have something in my pocket. You need to take that out. Why? I'm like, you don't negotiate with these people. You take it out and you go through. So while I was standing in line leaving Orlando, I was standing there. It said expected wait time 35 minutes. I registered for the pre-check, and I'm going to go do that here in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And not even that. Like in Atlanta, you have to go downstairs and get on the train. And
right.
It's a huge train, so it's a ton of people. They just have like this trolley.
Right.
That's about the size of my living room. And like they cram people in there. Like me and this older lady shared like a what do you call
handle?
It? A handle, it was just
so it was not a pleasant experience, what you're saying.
The Orlando airport's terrible. I mean, it's just awful. It is awful. And then, of course, I told everybody I was in Orlando. Oh, you're going to Disney World? No.
Nothing that fun.
There's no way.
Just work.
I did see the fireworks from
Disney.
From Disney.
That's nice.
That was cool. I mean, it was way, way far away, but
at least you got to see it.
But no, I was in Orlando and sweated the whole time, and I flew out Monday morning early, and I got back Saturday afternoon had a direct flight on Delta on the way back, which was really nice, which is rare for Delta to do.
To have a direct flight?
Yeah.
To get back early?
Yeah. I mean, I've only taken 2 direct flights in my history with Delta, which I use all the time. One is to New York.
Right.
There and back, they had one out of Birmingham, and the second one was from Orlando to Birmingham. They didn't have one going there, but they sure as hell had one coming back.
Well, that's nice.
So it was nice. So I didn't have to go through Atlanta.
You got any other travel coming up?
No, not.
No summer vacations.
We are going to go to the beach, I think, for maybe a few days, and I think we're going to go to New Orleans in like August, which it's going to be good because I've never been to New Orleans as an adult.
Yes.
So, but it's going to be bad because it's going to be really, really hot.
Yeah,
but
insanely hot.
And
it'll rain every day.
Yeah, but I get to go to the World War II Museum, which I'm in a World War II kick lately and read a lot of World War II books, so that'll be fun. But yeah,
cool. We're taking a trip to DC this week. I keep thinking it's next week, but it's this week.
So what made you want to go to DC? It was just kind of
we have family and friends up there. Liz's brother and sister-in-law and their daughter live up there. Plus, we have some really good friends of ours that live up there. So
Barack and Michelle still live there.
Barack and Michelle are still there. So we're gonna hopefully go hang out with them. But we have.
Hey, you've called Donald. I'm not in town right now. Please leave a message.
Yeah, it's at Mar-a-Lago.
Mar-a-Lago, yeah.
But we're going up to visit friends and family and see all of DC with the kids. We're going to try and cram everything into a week, which is going to be interesting.
DC's a fun town.
It is.
Yeah. I go up there a couple times a year, and there's a bunch of like free stuff to do. So
I spent a good bit of time with work up there in the past. We actually have some friends up there right now.
Yes. J.D. Baker and his wife Susie, they... we've talked about JD before. Is he the singer of JD and the Man? Yeah. So tell about what they did. This is funny.
They did a pack up and go trip. Which have you heard of this before? I've never heard of it.
I have never heard of this. Like I saw the picture on social media and I was like,
right.
Why are they telling everybody where they're going? That's weird.
So it's you basically go to their site and you give them like your budget for hotel and travel, and they plan a whole trip for you. Give you recommendations on where to go eat and what to see and what to do while you're there. The only catch is you don't know where you're going until you actually, right before you leave. But
they do send you like an email or a letter a couple days before, right?
They email you a few days before and tell you kind of what the weather's going to be like and any recommendations for packing or anything like that. But
now for spontaneous people,
this is great.
Now
for planners like my wife,
tell me how Liz would take this.
This is not going to go over well. Like I mean, this you talk about like stress and anxiety. Like you got to be pretty go with the flow to just like show up to the airport and then be told what city you're going to.
I think that would be cool, but I also think I'd get disappointed. Like, you're going to go to, it's like St. Louis. Like, I mean,
there are fun things to do in St. Louis.
There is, and I've been through St. Louis, but I mean, like, I don't want to spend like 4 days there.
No, I mean, I think that's kind of the whole point is that you get to see some of these cities that maybe you've never fully explored as a traveler. I saw several that were like Austin, which I would love to go to.
I've been to Austin. It's great. Great city.
Philadelphia, which is a really cool city.
Yeah.
Spent there some time there. DC, Denver. There were some others.
Denver's a cool town. Yeah.
It'd be interesting to get one that's like on the West Coast. Like you're going to Portland. It's like, okay, it's a 3-day weekend. I'm just going to have my time flying.
Yeah. Portland, I've had friends that have been there and they say it's wonderful, but it's just still, I mean, it's a
long way.
It's a hipster city though.
But anyway, check it out. I think it's packupandgo.com.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I would like it. I just think I'd be disappointed.
I would like it too.
Yeah.
But they're going to be like, you're going to Cleveland.
Yeah. Okay. Your trip is to Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Welcome
I think that was actually one of the locations.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never been. Maybe it's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, what if they were like, with my budget, they'd be like, you're going to go to New Orleans on the train.
Which sounds cool too.
Which sounds cool, but
yeah, they're like, you're going to Bessemer. That's on my budget.
That's exactly. You're going to Captain D's for the night. No, I go to DC a couple times a year. It's a fun town. There's a lot of cool stuff, a lot of cool museums, and it's got a lot of good food in DC. Like I think I even commented saying go to the Occidental, which is in the Willard Hotel, and it's like right next to the White House, but it's also the place where the guy from the KGB and the guy from ABC News met to kind of resolve the Cuban Missile Crisis. Like they have a booth there that says this is where it happened. It was right here.
That's
It's been portrayed in several movies, and it's really, really good food. So when you go up there, Go to the Occidental. It's really cool.
Check it out.
Yeah. Speaking of food, I actually went back to Brat, and that is how you say it.
Okay. I stand corrected.
So-
I had somebody try to tell me that was not the way you pronounce it.
Well, here's the thing. So they're probably right, but I asked the guy that worked there, and I was like, "How do you say this place's name?" He goes, Brat.
All right.
And he says it's a mixture of German and something else.
Okay, great.
So anyway,
How was the food?
It was good. They had the brunch menu. I had the schnitzel that was topped with 2 over easy eggs and their sausage gravy.
Sounds amazing.
It was
Super healthy.
Oh, it's terrible for me. I mean, I think I clogged an artery just looking at it. And then my wife had the breakfast burger,
Okay,
which
what
was
is a breakfast
okay. The
burger?
breakfast burger it's a hamburger, but it also has an over easy egg, bacon, and it's served on not a bun. No. Why would you have a bun? Because it's a breakfast burger. Pancakes.
All right.
And it's like that thick, German pancake.
This sounds like an upscale version of a McGriddle.
It was so good. Like she gave me a bite of hers, and I did give her a bite of mine. I know that
Despite
was
what she says.
despite what she says. Like I'm gonna have to get her tested for Alzheimer's because she doesn't remember me giving her a bite of my schnitzel. But anyway, it was really good. And then we had some family members with us, and they had the Belgian waffles.
Oh, that sounds good.
And then my Megan's cousin was there, and he got like the American, which had some German stuff. I was like, "You come to a German place to get the American?" He goes, "Blake, it's all American. We won the war." And I was like, "You know what? You're right. That's true. That is true.
It is true.
But I want to go back when they have like their normal food.
Yeah.
But the brunch it's excellent, and they were serving beer, and it was nice outside. It was hot, but it was
Now that they
nice.
can serve beer before noon.
I'm telling you what, man. There's nothing like having brunch food with a ice cold beer that I can't pronounce.
It's perfect.
So it was good, but no, it was good. I enjoyed it, so I recommend you go there sometime soon.
It's been on my list ever since they opened. I'm looking forward to it.
I told Pierce, our friend Pierce, who hosts Theology on Tap, that we need to move it there, and he said, "Well, think about it."
Yeah, let's do it.
So Pierce, if you're listening, move it there. Well, let's take a break and hear from our friends over at Beechwood Works, and we'll be back with the rest of the show. See you in a minute. Beechwood Woodworks is a locally owned and operated wood shop in Birmingham, Alabama, specializing in custom furniture and small home goods. Chris and Kanan Beecham create a wide variety of unique pieces of all sizes, ranging from cutting boards to farmhouse tables. Using wood sourced from Alabama sawmills, Beechwood Woodworks creates affordable, quality pieces that will be a one-of-a-kind fixture for your home. So support your local woodworker and visit redmountainexpress.com/woodworks or check them out on their Facebook and Instagram accounts. Beechwood Woodworks, turning your house into a home. And welcome back to the second half of the Red Mountain Express. So we had elections this week, just to kind of follow up on that story. Usually we have to go into runoffs with some of these big elections, but Walt Maddox, who's the mayor of Tuscaloosa, and Kay Ivey, who is the incumbent governor, were both advanced without runoffs, so they will face each other in the general election. So we're looking forward to that. Also, in an update, Amazon is going to come to Birmingham. Is that right? It's happening. Is this? I mean, it's about as done deal as can be.
Yeah, it's pretty done deal.
So it's going to be a distribution center, right?
Yep. So hopefully we'll be able to get our packages in one day instead of 2.
That's because that's what you need, right? You said what you say off air.
I need more crap faster. That's exactly what I need.
Oh, how awesome is that?
Yeah, it's amazing.
I love Amazon Prime. It's great.
Worth the money.
Well, so being Bessemer, I think they're finishing up the compensation package for it to kind of like sweeten
All the
the deal.
incentives.
Yeah, and then they're gonna make the major announcement. But from what I saw in the news story, it sounds like a pretty much done deal.
Which is awesome. It's great for that area. Lots of new jobs.
Yeah. In Birmingham news, the UA System Board of Trustees will consider a lease on the new stadium finally. So this is actually going to happen. It's going to anchor the stadium. I want to say it's a 20-year deal.
I think it's a 20-year deal at $25,000 a game. Is that right?
Is it $25,000 a game?
That's what I've heard. It's $25,000 a game, which seems
They'll make that money.
reasonable. Yeah. I mean, if you start
ticket sales,
sales and all that. I mean, they're not having to sell that many tickets to make that money back. Plus a good bit of money. Plus, I mean, the millions of dollars they get paid to get beat by good teams.
Yeah, but they have to travel for that. But they could pay it off in one. Like, they could travel to Auburn and something and get $1 million and just kind of pay it off.
Right. I mean, that's enough for 40 games or whatever it is.
Yeah. I wonder when they're going to break ground on the stadium. I know they've talked about finish up the design phase, but it should be relatively soon.
I hope so. I don't know how long, but I know they're targeting having this done before the World Games.
Yeah, which is 2022.
Don't know.
Yeah. There's some weird sports in the World Games,
Yeah, there are.
like floorball,
Yeah, I encountered this.
tug of war,
Yeah,
which I'd watch. Tug of war is kind of
tug
fun.
of war's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty
I
interesting.
mean, we
set
may
of games.
we may do a team.
Like
in
I
tug
feel
of war.
like I feel like we could probably win at something in the World Games, and if not, I think you can just make up your own sport. Like beer is beer pong a World Game sport?
I mean, if it is,
If
we should get into this. I mean, there's like in the Olympics, curling's a sport, and the team that won it
Which I
was like
love to watch.
but the team that won it was not like they're not pros, they're just like your average Joe guys,
right.
I mean, they probably like work as welders on the side and they curl in the afternoon. It's kind of like bowling, but for Canadians
And Swedes.
and Swedes. But the Americans won the gold because we're awesome at everything.
We did.
We did, yeah. We won the
did I
gold in
miss
curling.
that?
How did you? Yeah, how did you miss this? It was like a national story, like LeBron getting beat the other night.
Ouch.
Ooh, that's bad.
Did you see Charles Barkley's rant on that?
No, I didn't see it at all. No, what did he say?
He basically said,
It's terrible.
if I hear anyone else in the media say anything about the debate about LeBron being better than Jordan, I'm just going to deck him. I'm just going to punch him in the face and just take whatever legal consequences there are because that debate is over with. At least for Charles Barkley.
I mean, like Jordan won every one of his NBA finals, right?
I don't know if he won.
Yeah,
I think he
every one
won
of them.
every one of them.
Yeah, he was in the
But
finals.
he definitely wasn't swept in the finals.
No, he won every one of them.
But he also wasn't playing an all-star team.
Yeah, I mean, Michael Jordan, and he won the MVP in every one of his too. So, there's no comparison in my opinion. That and after LeBron came after Nick Saban and his Bama cuts, like saying that was like taking something away from him. It was just like, you know what, I'm done with you, LeBron. So I hope you enjoy your next season with like the Phoenix Suns or something because I'm pretty sure you're going to leave Cleveland because you can't win a championship. Well, he won one over there, so
They did.
I'm just saying, not a LeBron fan right now.
Well,
So
what else is going on in Birmingham?
So we also, I meant to talk about this earlier because I was going to tie in two sports stories, but I kind of forgot. But there's going to be a new movie filming in Birmingham. I know we had a Live Live. Was that what it's
Still
called?
don't know.
Still don't know yet. It was filming in Birmingham, and I think they're wrapping everything up. But this one is by a Birmingham-based production company called Skybox, and they're filming a movie called Christmas Struggle.
Which sounds interesting.
Sounds interesting. It's about a married, jobless couple who are struggling at Christmas time, and so they're going to be filming in Southside, Forestdale, at the airport, and I think in Inslee, and they're going to be doing a casting call. That's why I'm mentioning this, because we want you to go out there and act. It'll be at the production company's offices at 526 19th Street in Inslee on June 24th at 4 p.m. So.
Yeah, so this is Patrice and Sylvester Williams of
Right.
Skybox. So this is
And he's I think he's a comedian.
So
yeah.
Is this a comedy? I'm kind of assuming this is a comedy movie.
Could be.
I could be wrong.
I've tried to find IMDb. It's not there.
It's not there.
But could be a comedy.
But they're actually starring in it. Or
Yeah. Yeah, I think that he's going to be the husband and she's going to be the wife.
Well, that's a good way to
That's
finance your first movie.
I mean, and like they're going to hope this debuts on like December 1st. So it's going to be a quick turnaround. Which way a lot of indie films work. I mean, there's not a lot of not a big turnaround on these. It's not like they're going to have like special effects putting in some Game of Thrones dragons or anything. So
Right.
So I'm just saying.
That's cool. I mean, more movies filmed in Birmingham. I'm all about it.
Yeah, exactly. So to tie in the sporting news from earlier, Birmingham is getting a pro football team. Not that kind of pro football team.
No, not the NFL.
We're getting the AAF.
AAF, the Alliance of American Football.
That's such a whatever.
They're running out of acronyms.
They are. There's no. They use the USFL, the NFL, AFL. There was the All-American Football League, which we had a team, but they didn't even kick off.
There's the XFL.
There's the XFL.
Which is coming back.
There's the World Football League, which was in everywhere but the United States. There was the CFL, which moved down to the United States, the Birmingham Barracudas.
Yes.
And then they picked up and left. There's been a bunch.
There's been a bunch.
World Football League, which we had the Birmingham Vulcans.
Yes.
So, I mean, there's been a lot.
Yeah, there have been several. I think this one will be interesting. I hope that it works out. Mayor Woodfin announced this.
So when you sent me this story a few days ago, I said they'll probably never kick off.
You did. Yeah, you were very skeptical.
I would say that that's a good possibility because of funding. But I did some
They do
research
have
on
a
this.
TV contract.
Yeah, they have a TV contract with CBS and CBS Sports. CBS has the Super Bowl this year, and they're going to air a commercial during the Super Bowl. And the NFL said they're fine with that because they see this as a developmental league.
Yeah, so it's going to be a like winter to summer.
It's a spring league, yeah,
spring league.
or
Like
late winter.
And it's not
to
very
summer.
long. Their season's not very long.
No,
it's
no.
like a couple months or something.
Right. They have teams in Atlanta, Birmingham, Memphis, Phoenix, Salt Lake City, San Diego, and I think there's one other that I really can't think of. Orlando.
The place you just came from.
Yeah, exactly. So good luck sweating over there.
But they've announced some of the coaches associated. So right after they announced the team, they announced the coach for the Birmingham team would be Tim Lewis.
Yeah, longtime NFL assistant. He was an All-American at Pitt. His career was kind of cut short due to a head injury when he was with I forgot what team he was with. But every other coach, though, has been a head coach in the NFL at some point.
Yeah. So I noticed Steve Spurrier is going to be the coach for, is it the Orlando team?
Yeah, Steve Spurrier is the head coach of the Orlando team, which is kind of his second foray into alternate leagues. He was the coach of the Tampa Bay Bandits during the USFL, which they've always said that when they shut down that team, they shut down the wrong team because the Bandits, it was owned by what's his name from Smokey and the Bandits? Burt Reynolds owned the team.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that's why they're called the Bandits.
That's amazing.
Yeah, but it was the Tampa Bay Bandits, and so he was coach there and was like 38 when he took over that team.
Oh wow!
And that's how from there he went to Duke and then to Florida and then to the Redskins, and so.
Well, it'll just be good to have a team to root against Steve Spurrier again.
You know, I kind of like old
ball coach.
Yeah,
I like him now that he's not coaching at Florida.
Yeah, well, he was at South Carolina for a couple years,
right?
More than a couple, like 10 years or 12 years.
Kind of brought that program back a little bit.
Yeah, he did. So here are the coaches: Brad Childress, who was the coach of the Vikings at one point; Tim Lewis, who was the coach of the Birmingham team; Mike Singletary, who was the coach of the 49ers; Steve Spurrier, who was Florida and South Carolina and Washington Redskins; Rick Neuheisel, who was recently the coach of UCLA, and I believe he was the head coach of... He was never an NFL head coach, but he was the head coach of Colorado, Washington, and then, of course, UCLA, like I've said. And then, let me see who else. Mike Martz, who was the head coach of the Rams, and then Dennis Erickson, who was the head coach of the Miami Hurricanes, and when they won a national championship in 1991, and then got thumped by Alabama in 1992 at the Sugar Bowl. Sorry, I had to bring it in there. So
I think you went through that whole list
just to get to Dennis Erickson. Yeah, got thumped. Yeah, but anyway, so this is why I think why it could be successful. I'm not saying it's gonna be.
There's some pretty big names in there.
There's some big names in there. They have a TV contract behind it. They're led by Charlie Ebersol, who is the son of Dick Ebersol, who was the head of NBC Sports for years in the Olympics. And Dick Ebersol sits on that board, so he's in an advisory role. It's going to be a territorial draft, so you're going to get players.
Regional, right?
Yeah, so you'll get players that you know. They're going to be kicking off the week after the week after the Super Bowl
ends.
And they're going to be, I think the Birmingham team will be in Legion Field. So
until the new stadium. I think the plan is for them to end up in the new stadium, but
I'm sure they will. I mean, I'm sure they will. So, I mean, we'll see.
Did you see that Mayor Woodfin wants Colin Kaepernick to be the quarterback?
Well, he's not from Alabama, so I mean, it's a territorial draft.
I don't know though. I mean, I don't know if there can be I don't know if they have free agency or whatever.
They may. Well, I'm gonna tell you what. If they survive 1 year, they'll be put into direct conflict with the XFL, which is just terrible football.
It's debatable that even that will come back.
I doubt it.
I don't know if that'll.
The big thing about the XFL is they had
again.
NBC owned 49 or 51% of it, and then they had Titan Sports behind it, which at the time, everybody loved wrestling back in the early 2000s. So, but it was terrible football. So, I think if the NFL can treat this as a developmental league and people see it that way instead of let's be honest. In Alabama, we have high quality football at Alabama and Auburn, and then
UAB.
and UAB. We have high quality football. And, when you go from that to watching really bad football, it can turn some people off.
But I think having some of the name recognition,
right,
people
exactly,
from around here, like especially if there's access to those players, like which I mean in a smaller sort of environment, like
well, that's part of the whole thing. Like the players' bonuses and compensation is based, or their bonuses are based on like performance, but also interaction with the fans.
Yeah,
and there's also some not weird rules, but
they did have some rule changes, which I read that too. Like there are no kickoffs.
Yeah, they start at the 25, which
I don't like this rule.
They've been trying to get rid of kickoffs for years in the football.
I mean, I do understand that like
safety.
that's a high risk of injury, and in a developmental league.
See, okay, in the college football this year, they'll be able to like catch it with inside the 20 and still go out to the 25.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's cool.
That's yeah. Is it?
I don't know. I don't really like it.
I don't like it either.
But
there's 50 players on roster with some selected by territorial draft. Okay. There will be no television timeouts,
which I like.
Yeah. Because CBS, which was shocking with CBS, because CBS games will go 5 hours if they want to. There will be no extra points. You have to go for 2. And because there's no kickoffs, you can opt to say, we'll start on own 35 and try to gain 10 yards with one play, and that's like an onside kick for them.
Right, and if you do, you get to keep the ball.
Think about that for teams that are hot at the
how
very
would
end.
you not... I mean, like,
but
no one's ever gonna like turn the ball over. Like, I would just always go for.
But it's your own 35. So if you it's just there's some
risky,
risk into it. Play clock's only 30 seconds, which is 10 seconds short of the NFL. They have coaching challenges, and then I'm reading off also this from their page. The outside organization will handle head safety protocols, so it won't be done by the league itself. By the league or the team. The team saying, "Oh, he's okay." It's going to be an outside organization, which is good.
That is good. So they'll have some outside oversight over returning to a game.
There are legit investors. Peter Thiel's invested into it. There's some folks with Bartool Sports are invested into it. So, they're going to have a fantasy league, and then now with the advent of now there's going to be sports gambling everywhere. I mean, maybe that'll help it out. I don't know, but I mean, it's. Are we going to play the name game for this team?
Well, so I was confused at first because I thought it was the Alliance, but that's just the football league, and they haven't named any of the teams yet.
This week in the Alliance.
No, I have no guesses on names, but I mean, anything related to Iron, Vulcan, Forge, like...
The Birmingham Forge.
Yeah, I mean...
That just sounds bad.
Yeah.
It's probably the Birmingham Forge now, and I'm going to feel really bad about it.
I mean, we've tried. Like, we've had the Vulcans. We've had
the Steel Dogs.
The Steel Dogs. We've had what was it, the Fire.
The Birmingham Barracudas.
The Barracudas, which I don't know where that one came from.
It was Canadian football.
Yeah, like there's no
Barracudas.
There's no
Alabama.
connection. It just is alliteration or something. I don't know. But there's no connection to Barracudas in Birmingham. But yeah, I mean, we've kind of gone through we've had the. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, and we have the Legion. That's the name of the soccer team, which actually that grew on me. I like it. I like it. Do you have a shirt yet?
I like the Hammers better. Yeah. I don't have a shirt yet, but I need one.
The Birmingham Hammers. Well, if they did Yellow Hammers, but I ain't going to go support that team, because Rammer Jammer Yellow Hammer. There's some people that be like that.
There are.
Maybe they should go something that's not even connected with the city, like, they'll do like Tigers or like the Bulls or something.
Or like the Biscuits.
We already have a Bulls. The Biscuits. Batter up. Which would you say? That's not how you would spell batter.
No, it's not. You make biscuits out of dough.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you batter. It's what, you're right. You're right. Well, we'll keep everybody updated on the new football team in Birmingham. So, they're supposed to kick off next year in February. Yeah. So it's a quick turnaround.
Yeah, that's a lot to put together a whole football league with like how many teams? Like 8 or 9?
There's 8 or 9, yeah. Do a schedule, find a stadium, get players.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I'm sure they'll have people lining up to play.
You want to go out and try out?
I might.
Let's do it.
It'd make for good radio.
It would make for really good radio, yeah. Before we go, Patrick and I wanted to mention the passing of a dear friend. The Honorable Sandra Storm who was a retired family court judge in Birmingham, but she was also an elder at First Presbyterian Church, where Matthew, Patrick, and I attend, and are members. Passed away this past week from a stroke that she had. She was appointed to the Jefferson County Family Court in 1980. In 88, she was elected the presiding judge of the family court, where she did some wonderful work. She established some of the very first gun and drug courts in the country, and then she also did some other things in public service, like serving on boards of First Light Shelter for Women and Children and the Hand and Paul, I think, Foundation as well. She was a wonderful woman. I know Patrick can talk a little bit more about her, because she was the salt of the earth. Yeah,
she was a great friend. She was very honest and caring and loving person, and she will be very missed. She continued to work even after she retired as a
I think she
judge.
Volunteered 2 days a week. I think it was 1 day, and then she went to 2 days because they needed her
just
help.
To help. So she continued to work on that.
Yeah, she touched many people's lives, not just with the family court, but with the foundations she supported, and those folks that she touched were better off for it. So we'll miss her, and we'll mourn her passing. With that, we'll call it a show. We will not be on the show next week. It'll be Father's Day, and we'll be taking a week off so we can spend some time with our families, and we hope you do the same. For Patrick Tucker, I'm Blake Westbrook, and Matt, we miss you. Come back soon. We'll see you next week, or 2 weeks.